Sometime in August still has not happened yet, and none of the new life crystals have yet to be mentioned. My name's Teddy, and while we wait for any news on the new life-skilling crystals, there's no better time than to get those Menace enhanced and turned into Prion without needing to touch the central market. For those who enjoy going out and getting their own materials, this one's for you. So, if you find this helpful, be sure to leave a like, and let's just get into all the ways I like to go about enhancing my own Lifeskill gear without having to touch the central market in preparation for the new Lifeskill crystals coming to Black Desert Online. Before you can even start enhancing, you'll first need a few things to make things easier, like combat, gathering, hunting, and fishing gear at any enhancement level. The higher your gear is, however, the more materials you'll find, but this can be done on the lowest Logia to the highest Manos and even Tuvala gear. Just choose what's best for you and whatever you can afford. I have a link to all the guides needed minus combat gear since they give it all out for free and everyone knows I don't do combat. So if you're still in the need for any Lifeskill gear, check out the description for all the links down below. With all of your gear ready, now we can start going out and getting all of the enhancing materials needed. Starting off with the materials, we have the Black Stones. There's a few different ways to go about these, but the best method is going to be with mob grinding. Grinding zones like the Desert Nagas or Cadre Ruins in the early game has the best drop rates out of all the other zones. For mid game, we have Orc Camp, Sunnel Camp, we have Tunkada for those who want partying, and the Jade Starlight Forest. For the late gamers, we have Aloons, Dekia Thornwood Forest, and Dekia version of Aloons. Other spots still are able to drop some good Blackstones, but these spots just have the highest drop rate out of them all, so pick whichever one you can handle. If you're still looking around for zones, the Monster Zone info has more information and can help speed up the process. Hunter seals are the next way that we can get extra Blackstones, but these are obtained from the Ancient Relic Scrolls, Killing Kulk and the Blue Whale, and hunting bonus quests provide these seals. The issue with these, however, are how few you can obtain per week compared to mob grinding, but it's still an option for those needing more stones. Another way is to devour green grade weapons. These can be bought off the central market for those who aren't trying to do the whole Ironman gathering and enhancing. Plus 3 militia boxes can be bought from Afrodo and Velia for those who are wanting to do the whole manual gathering. Other options are the enhancement help boxes handed out during events, Seals of Solaire each week, Bump Coelacanth in any fishing event areas. Bundles can also be bought from the night vendor randomly. And lastly, we have the Black Spirit Adventure. If the Blackstones are still an issue, the last option available is crafting these, which I highly recommend against. Using any level 3 refinery, Blackstones can be crafted using 200 Blackstone powder, 2 Tyrant's Blood, and 2 Oil of Fortitude, but again, it's better to just go out and mob grind and use the materials for other alchemy recipes. Sharps are up next with a few different ways to go out and collect them, with the best being first, gathering. While gathering only offers a few sharps while doing the activities, where gathering really shines is with the fairy breath byproducts that are dropped. With higher mastery, with the artisan green thumb minigame, and the hedgehog pet, getting hundreds can be done in a few hours or less depending on how invested you are into gathering. As an added bonus, just about any type of gathering can be done for the fairy byproduct. Not only does gathering have the byproducts in mass, but when lumbering, tanning, mining, herb gathering, butchering, or fluid collecting only has a chance to proc the buried trace that contains 15 to 22 sharps each chest and requires a golden key to open. When using the hedgehog and the artisan green thumb gathering, you'll also have a chance to getting up to 120 buried traces in one gathering attempt. Another way to get the sharps is with mob grinding. Certain areas like Helms, Hex, Marie Cave, and Hazard Cliff has blue grade accessories that can be melted down for a few sharps each. Mantifar's has the ogre ring drops, which can be melted down for up to 7 sharps each, but the drop rate is low. Keeping with the combat, any mob grinding zone can be done with them supplying sharp bags, so get out there and start mob grinding random areas. Doing the Pit of Undying for seals to exchange every day for the crow's chest that has a chance of giving sharps bundles can be done, but it requires 100 seals. The night vendor also has sharp bundles that can be bought randomly, but it's all RNG and the prices can be higher than the stones that are sold on the central market. The slower way to get the sharps is by playing the Black Spirit Adventure, completing and every 10 completions. Like with the Blackstones, sharps can be obtained from the Hunter Seals, but the exchange rate is so bad I avoid choosing this method, but it's still an option for those still needing sharps. Because technically hunting involves gathering. While out there hunting, you still have a chance of getting the sharps while butchering a creature, but you do not have a chance of getting any of the fairy breath byproduct. That's only for actual gathering. Black gem fragments, black gems, and lastly, concentrated black gems are the next items we'll need, and if you know what you're doing, you'll be able to gather hundreds without realizing it. Let me show you how. Jumping over to gathering, we have a few options, with the best way of getting the black gem fragments being butchering. While all other gathering activities can drop black gems, butchering just has a higher chance of dropping them, so heading out to areas that have a ton of animals to butcher would be ideal. My personal favorites are here at Wolf Hills, the Secluded Forest, Sheep Mountain, Bear Elks, and lions out here in Ancondo Harbor. If butchering isn't your thing, or you still need alchemy ingredients, herb gathering is another good way to get all of the black gem fragments over at Bear for the herb gathering, or the Navarran Steppes for the flower gathering. While not gathering directly, like I mentioned, hunting and sniper hunting is my go-to method for both money and all of the enhancing materials. For matchlock hunting, I suggest heading out to Narcion for the rhinos if you still need a power level, or the shadow wolves for the sheer amount in each group. Sniper hunting only has one option, being out here in the land of the morning light in the sniper hunting area, but it comes with the higher chances of dropping the black gems and the concentrated black gems to reduce how many black stones and sharps are needed. Keeping up with hunting, if you've done any of the matchlock hunting, the Wild Spark byproduct is a great way to earn a few extra black gem fragments at a 10:5 ratio. This method requires a lot of matchlock hunting, but if you're trying to self-gather all the materials and enhance without using the central market, Wild Sparks shouldn't be ignored. Hunter tokens can also be used to get the black gem fragments and concentrated black gems, but the exchange rate is horrible and will take a while collecting the tokens from the tracks of the hunter dailies found here in the recurring section of your quest log. Other ways is to get the black gem fragment and black gems from the Black Spirit Adventure, and lastly, the life enhancement help kits from events, daily logins, and other special login events. One doesn't just try to enhance without having a nice amount of memory fragments, and without the central market, this can be a little time consuming, but rest assured, there are easy ways to passively get a huge stock without much effort, starting with fishing. Active or AFK fishing, it really doesn't matter which one you prefer, depending on where you fish has a higher chance of dropping the ancient relic shards that can be combined to make the relic boss scrolls. These scrolls are used to fight waves of easy bosses that can be completed solo or as a group for faster completion for the memory fragments. Just remember, fishing in places like Aquala's Eye, being out in the Ross Sea, or Margoria has a higher chance of getting any of the ancient relics needed. For the combat enjoyer, each region has different zones that the mobs drop different higher leveled boss scrolled items. Ranked from early game to end game, Medea has the Book of Forbidden Knowledge, Valentia has a scroll written in Ancient Knowledge, and finally, Kama has the Mancho Voodoo Dolls. Out of all these scrolls, the most efficient ones will be the scroll written in Ancient Knowledge, since they are the fastest to complete as a solo player and requires less time between the bosses, resulting in quicker kills. Not only is it faster, but offers the highest average memory fragment and hunter seals better than the others. A forgotten and more annoying way to get some of the memory fragments is with the Lucario gathering. This minigame sucks and is not worth the time, but if you're willing to, if you manage to complete the minigame and get one of the bags have a chance of containing one memory fragment. Other ways are the usual, completing the Black Spirit Adventure every 10 rounds. While doing alchemy, there's a small chance to earn one randomly. Dark Rift bosses, boss blitz, the Atraxian weekly quest, the enhancement help kits from almost every event, and login bonus, because the gold keys are important for either getting all of those sharps or silver needed for Cron Stones. The next item we have to look at are the silver keys. Silver keys can easily be fished, either AFK or actively for those who enjoy the self-torture like me. On their own, these keys have very minor uses, but for this guide, we're using 100 silver keys to exchange for one golden key. Another great thing about fishing for keys and silver are the broken bottles we can get. These fishing byproducts are better used for the easy contribution, but if you're down on the silver keys, for the price of 5 bottles, you can exchange them for 15 silver keys. A few of the best places to fish for these have to be Margoria, Ross, like mentioned, the Tooth Fairy Cabin, and other spots can be used for those who prefer Velia Beach instead. These are just some of the areas that have the highest bite rate and or the highest chances of dropping any of the ancient relic shards. If you're turning fish into the Imperial Delivery NPC, the golden Imperial fishing seals can be exchanged for the golden keys too, but it will take 70 seals for 1 key. These keys are the real goal here, so the best method I suggest is taking a week to do AFK fishing, then trade them into the Imperial Delivery for a huge amount of the golden keys from the seals. Finally, on the very off chance you happen to be sailing around on your Carrack, using Creo's fishing, Creo has a chance of pulling up any of the relics, keys, or byproducts too, but this is far slower than AFK fishing at Tiger's Island. With the large stack of keys, going out to gather without needing to stop or buy keys off the central market can save a lot of time and silver if you manage to get 20 traces. But unfortunately, when it comes to the crons needed, we don't have any good options that doesn't require real money costumes, but that doesn't leave anyone trying to play an Ironman tune out high and dry. Starting off, we have the most obvious way to get the crons is with just buying them from the vendor for 3 mil each. Yeah, I know, this can get a little expensive, but spending time out mob grinding or AFK fishing in places like Velia Beach or Aquala's Eye, for 2 small examples, can earn billions needed to waste on crons. Real money a problem? Don't worry. Taking a look at the Old Moon costume mill in any major city has the option to craft the Karlstein costume pieces that can be turned into crons. This can be extremely slow and annoying, needing to get the intricate pattern mystical shards from mob grinding and the dailies, but all mob grinding zones have a chance to drop the shards, with certain zones like Shira Ruins, Pila Kujail, and the Blood Wolves have a higher chance, to name a few. Once you have the shards, you can come to Calpheon here to Ruben to complete the Hero of Karlstein quest to unlock to become Karlstein daily quest from Clara here in Calpheon. This daily is simple, with just needing to head over to the Marnie's lab and kill a few of the chimeras, come back to Clara, and complete it to receive the Karlstein design. Once you have the design, it can be added to the storage where the costume mill and all of the materials reside in, and you can craft the pieces. As a side note, the female Karlstein boots and the armor have the best crons offering, more crons per shard than the male counterparts. Jumping back to the Pit of Undying, completing this every day offers a small amount of Cron Stones when exchanging the seals each day if you need more crons. Other similar ways include randomly proccing when doing alchemy, the Black Spirit Adventure, events, bosses like Field, World, or Dark Rift, including the boss splits, season rewards, and even login bonuses. The slowest way possible, however, is going to be waiting for any events to give out the free costumes. This way is considered the slowest, with most events offering RNG boxes with a chance of a costume or 1 costume every couple of months. While some events do provide more free costume boxes to exchange for crons, it's not always guaranteed, and it's just easier to buy the crons from the vendor. Before long, you're not going to need to go out and touch the central market to start enhancing all of your manas to Prion in preparation for all of those new Lifeskill crystals coming when Adania comes out. I know there's more ways to get all the other materials. These are just some of the ways that I know and use, but if I missed anything, let me know down in the comments below. And of course, you can just avoid all of this by just spending a couple billion per life-skilling item, but for those who'd rather use all of those silver on the crons instead, or doing the mob grinding for it is so much easier. I have weeks worth of live streams showing you how I get all of my silver and black gems casually while still making a lot of money on the sides for more cron wasting. I hope this helps you decide if you should start enhancing your own Lifeskill gear or rely on giving other players like me your hard-earned silver so we can just toss it away for fun. Remember to leave a like if you found this helpful, check out the channel for more lifeskilling content for Black Desert Online, and remember, sometime in August is coming out, we're getting new Lifeskill crystals, and apparently sometime in Ardania we should be getting new crystals, but there's still no word on it. I'll let you guys know whenever I find out more, and in the meantime, keep gathering out there, everyone.